Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of We Talk Film. I am your host, Barry, and as always, joined by our co-host, Clayton.
Hello, everybody.
And today, we are doing something a little bit different. It still is movie-related, but what are we doing today, Clayton?
Well, today, first of all, the first half of episode 9, we're nearly at 10, is talking about Air, a movie that we saw recently. Came out a little while ago, but we only just got a chance to see it. So we're going to be talking about that, and then we're going to be doing something completely different. We're going to be playing what we like to call the We Talk Film film pick, little film pick game, film draft,
sports film pick.
Yeah,
the film draft, sports film draft.
We are going to.
It's all sports related today. That's what we're doing. Everything is sports related because we watched Air. We're in a sporty mood. I have watched so many sports films over the past 3 days.
Jesus,
so many.
Why'd you do that?
Anytime I had time, I've probably watched a good 10 within the past 3 days. God. Besides Air.
Wow. All right. Well,
so I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Oh shit. All right. Well, why don't we just start talking about Air and we'll figure out what we're going to do for that other thing later.
Yes. So the other night, both of us saw the new movie Air, done and directed by Ben Affleck. That's the whole reason why I wanted to see it. From award-winning director Ben Affleck, Air reveals the unbelievable game-changing partnership between then rookie Michael Jordan and Nike's fledgling basketball division, with which revolutionized the world sports of contemporary culture and the Air Jordan brand. This movie story follows the career-defining gamble of unconventional team with everything on the line, the uncompromising vision of the mother who knows the worth of her son's immense talent, and the basketball phenomenon who would become the greatest of all time. Starring Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, David Ellison, Jesse Singleton, John Wimbatch, other people.
Lots of people.
Oh, that was producers. Sorry. Starring Matt Damon, Jason Bateman, Ben Affleck, Chris Messina, Viola Davis, Julius Tenon, and Chris Tucker.
That makes more sense. I will say I wasn't paying attention to the list of people you said, so I didn't notice.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes, and then I'm just like, oh shit, yeah, that's producers. My bad. So a lot of producers on this
we're
film.
rolling with it. Yeah, well, it would have been a big thing. It would have been a big brand thing as well. I mean, they would have had to correlate with Nike and all of Michael Jordan's people and all of these other dudes. I think it would have been a big,
even though you don't see Michael
effort.
Jordan's face whatsoever.
No, you don't. You hear a voice of someone who we presume is Michael Jordan. We see his back a lot. But that's about it. Yeah,
that's
it's
about
very
it.
much not a sport movie, and it's very much a movie about shoes for sports. And I never thought that would be a great movie.
I know
that premise alone
so well.
I love this movie. This is this is a great movie. It's entertaining. I loved it. Man. Movie about shoes. Jesus Christ.
Movie about shoes. Literally, that's all it is. It's about Nike and their basketball division. So basically, we've got Matt Damon's character who plays as Sonny Vaccaro. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. It was basically like the spokesperson. His job at Nike was to find new recruits going into the NBL draft and not NBL. Is it NBL? National Basketball League?
It was NBA. It was
NBA.
It was still
sorry.
NBA.
NBA.
Because this is
84
or something.
Yeah, 84. So basically his job was to go and find all these young talent guys and get them signed up to Nike. And so like they would be wearing Nike shoes while they're having these games, and then hopefully Nike's rates and money would go up. Because at this point in time, back in 1984, they weren't doing so good as a company, which we find out.
No, especially not in the basketball division. They had no shoes in it. They were giving them away for free at some college things, and that was it. They say multiple times that Nike's a running shoe company. They'll never get into basketball. Jesus. Who could have thought? And if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, they never would have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the information about, like, obviously, that came out at the end of all that was absolutely amazing. But, yeah, before we actually go anywhere ahead, sorry to say this again, but spoiler alert, everybody. Why do we always forget the spoiler alert?
We forget
We always forget the spoiler alert. It's like the
I l-
biggest button on my screen, and I always forget
I
it.
love the button. We say how every time that we love the button, but we always forget to press the
Always forget the
button.
button.
Oh, I have
Maybe
to
we should get like
remember.
a mechanical button, and I'll put it right next to my desk and just like press
We
it.
need, uh, big
Big red
physically.
button.
We need a button that reminds us to press the spoiler button. As
Yes.
soon as we start, it needs to be like 2 minutes, and then it's bang, you forgot to press the button. And we're like,
Bang,
yeah, we
bang,
forgot it
straight
again.
into it.
Oh, back to Air. I will. You know what?
Back
I'm
to
going to say it.
air.
This was probably my favorite film this year that we've seen in cinemas, or at least that we've done an episode on. This is probably my number one
Ooh,
film of 2023, at
your
least so
number one
far.
film of 2023. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's saying something because yeah,
I
I
know.
still really love Creed as well, and I actually rewatched
Mm.
Creed since after watching this film, and now I am very uneven about what I have to say about things.
Oh wow. No, no, I
'Cause
get that.
I really love Creed.
No, I know how much you love Creed, but no, this one just felt so much more like a heartfelt little story. I loved the characters, whereas in Creed you feel a little bit detached from it all. But in this one, it's like everyone is likable, everyone's enjoyable. It's so funny, and it's a great
Yep,
story,
yep.
and it's a true story too. I think every
Yes.
event in this movie happened in real life. There was nothing, at least not exaggerated that much. It was all pretty real, and the events at the end that you see, the real footage and real photos, it's just identical shots
Yep.
from the movie. It's like what?
Yep, yep. It's like this
Oh,
actually happened. These were actually real people. The
it's
CEO, played by Ben Affleck, was a pretty wacky guy, it turns out.
yeah, with his like purple Porsche and his no shoes up on his desk and his weird '80s puffer jackets. Yeah, if
I mean, when you're the CEO of Nike, you can literally do anything, I suppose. They were still making
yeah,
it income.
that's fair enough. Oh, what a great movie. I love movies like
I
this. I
love
love
great film.
movies that can keep you entertained through the dialogue alone. If a movie has
Yes.
got you hooked just from them talking and you're laughing at that, you're smiling, you're enjoying it, you're going, this is fun, then it's doing
Yep.
something really right. And it's really rare that we see something like that. Creed didn't do that to me, I will say. The dialogue
Yep.
in
Yep.
Creed took me out of it a little bit, even though it was really well done.
Ah, okay.
I will
Yep.
say it didn't feel as real as this did. This
No,
felt
yeah,
like,
this felt like an
yeah,
actual like these are the real people we're dealing with. This is actually the story upon what we're being told. And it's just like,
yeah,
oh, yep, yep. And I that's the thing. I think that comes down to Ben Affleck, who obviously did direct this. He has a
mm,
very good habit in every single one of his films, especially the ones that he makes about true events. Because have you watched
mhm,
Argo
mhm.
before? The one he
I
got
have
like best
not.
director for?
No, it's on the
Because
list.
it's the same type of concept. Because that's the thing. The plot for this film, and this is literally it, audience. The plot for this film is literally about making a shoe. That is
Yeah,
it. That is
yep.
basically the overall plot of this. And it's just insane, like to make an entire film dedicated on this and the events that happen in this film, like getting Michael Jordan signed up, how all that came about, and how much money and just everything happened at the end of this
Mm,
deal, and just the way they got around to actually getting Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan didn't want to be signed to Nike because he hated him, was just
no.
insane. But also the story or what happens in Argo, because Argo is based on true events as well, is
Mhm.
probably even more insane that that actually happened in real life.
Okay,
So I
yeah.
won't go say much too about Argo.
Whoa.
But yeah, go and watch it. And audience, as well, please just go and watch it. It's definitely one of their
Yes.
recommendations for you.
No, I will check out Argo. It's definitely one that's appeared on the list. But no, it feels like Ben Affleck is just a really great filmmaker, and he's really great with dialogue and making things feel enjoyable and real. And I will say, Matt Damon was just as good. Yeah, I
Oh yeah.
forget it's Matt Damon. It's sometimes
Yep.
hard to see these big actors in these lower kind of roles, but for this one,
Oh
it
yeah.
worked. It just worked. I don't know. I don't know how to explain
Yep.
it, but it's like you just get sucked into it,
Yeah.
and
And
it's
that's the
just
thing,
really good
like
acting.
everyone in the cast as well just felt like they would look like they were having a good time. Because even
Mm,
behind the scenes of stuff and everything for this film, it just felt like it was the whole bunch of friends just making a very good film. And that's how
yeah,
like they kind of interact. And that's how they interact in the film as well. Like
yeah,
everyone's happy about this deal and trying to get it all done. Like they're working together,
yeah.
type thing. And it's obviously good to see Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in a film again. It's been so long since they've actually been in a film.
Always.
What's been since Good Will Hunting since they've been in a film together?
Really? Well,
Yep.
I know they've collaborated on stuff, but have they actually not starred in
Or
a film
actually,
together?
how? Sorry, I'm wrong
What?
about that. They did one called The
Okay.
Last Duel with the
Yep,
Ridley Scott one. Yep.
yep. See,
But
yeah,
this time though,
yeah.
they actually had a lot more screen time together, and it was just
Oh
like
yeah.
you could see these basically two best friends. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like having just a very good time on set because like apparently all the stuff for like Ben Affleck's scenes, they literally just smashed it out in like one day. Like in the office, in like
That doesn't
the
surprise me.
office, they were just like, yeah, we know what we're doing. Let's just go and smash it out. So like, yeah, literally,
Yeah,
they were doing something with Chris Tucker in the morning, and they're like, oh, we'll just go and do our thing. And so they just film
yeah.
that.
That's all. No, it wouldn't surprise me if this movie was made in like a week or two. I mean, it's set over the events of like 24 hours. There's like
Yeah,
two
I would say
locations,
yeah,
maybe.
definitely taken a lot
Oh,
longer to film, especially certain scenes and stuff like that.
oh
But yeah,
yeah,
just
yeah.
everyone's performance in this was just like bringing their A game to it. You could speak.
Mm,
Even Chris Tucker.
hmm.
Can we talk about Chris Tucker for a
Oh,
second? Now, Chris Tucker
he was
has
so
not been
good.
in a film, or haven't been in a film for quite a while.
Mm,
And every single
hmm.
scene he was in this movie, I want to see more Chris Tucker. He
He
is
was so
great.
funny.
He's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, I
And he just
loved
suited
him.
that role so
Oh.
well. It was just so great. I was so happy seeing Chris Tucker in this film.
Oh, when Matt Damon's sitting next to him at the bar, he's like, "I have this great idea for this new shoe and this deal with Michael Jordan," and he's like, "That's great. I think you're a fucking idiot, but that's great." It's just like showing him up. Every line that came out of his mouth is just really quotable and hilarious. It was so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Oh, every actor in this was good. I liked everyone, even Viola Davis. She was great.
Oh
Like
yes,
Michael Jordan's
she played
mom.
a very
Eh,
key like
yeah.
character in this film. Because that's the thing. Because I'm not really into sports, like actual real physical sports. I will watch the hell out of sports films. Like I love sports films so much so that yeah, over the past 3 days, I've been watching a hell of a lot of sports films, and there's some that
Wow.
I've never seen before that I really really love now.
Ooh.
But yeah, Viola Davis played as Dolores Jordan, obviously, who's
Yep.
Michael Jordan's mom, and she played such an influential role in Michael
Mm.
Jordan's career, essentially.
Yeah.
Like she
It's
was
crazy.
his manager, so which I
Yeah.
didn't know about.
No. I knew basically nothing about Michael Jordan before he joined into the NBA and got big. So
Yep.
all of it was really surprising to see. Just I guess every side of it. It's pretty crazy. I was like, what? There's no way this could happen. Or was what? This is a bit. But it's like, no, this all happened. Dude, dude was
It all
really
happened.
just
This is such
chilling,
real
and
events.
then
Yep.
all of a sudden they're offering him $250,000 to wear shoes. It's like what?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Well, that's the thing
man,
because that was their entire budget that Nike had for their basketball
yeah.
division, and it's like
They,
they wanted to. Well, originally they wanted to get 4 basketball players with that amount of money, and
that's right.
then
Yeah,
Sonny was just like, "No, I want to get this one player." And then
yeah.
that's when they started to go into
Crazy.
all the meetings, and that's what the film beats up about. And then just like the end result of all this as well, after the deal happened, and how much that changed the
Yeah.
NBA and even sports in general, because even about that thing back in 2014, having like rights to be able to get money from these sporting grants and everything back in
Mm.
2014,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
Sonny was part of as well. And then obviously as well, like at the end of the film, like obviously the deal's for $250,000. Like
Yeah,
1984 for a new
that's a lot
upcoming
of money.
player, that's a lot of money.
Whoa,
Like that
that's
is
a
a lot
lot
of
of.
money back in '84.
That's crazy.
I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That was
um,
back when you were in high
and
school. Yeah.
then that's back when I was in high school, yeah. And then basically what the CEO at the end, he's just like, "Oh, how much money could we make off a shoe? 3 mil? Oh yeah." In the
Yeah.
first year, they made $162 million off this shoe.
Jesus Christ. That's mental. That'd be mental
That is
today,
mental.
let alone 1984. It's so crazy. And another thing, the whole we'll pay the fines because the shoes were only allowed to be white as
Yes.
well. They weren't
Yep.
allowed to be
Yep.
black or have as much red on it as they did. It's kind of crazy that they were messing around with that. They caused that change to
Yeah.
happen, in
Yep.
sports uniform. It's like this changed
Oh
more
yeah.
than more than just a shoe. This was a monumental moment in sporting history, and it's captured in this really
Well, it
quirky,
was.
fun film. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, probably one of the most monumental moments, especially in basketball. That's for sure. I mean, that's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
that is
And
crazy. But
what else did they say? Michael Jordan makes 400 million a year in passive income now, just from the
yep,
shoe line.
yeah, because they
Dude's
make
retired.
$4 billion a
Yeah,
year from that shoe line or
yeah,
something.
just from the Air
I was like,
Jordans.
oh,
Oh,
just from
that's
Air Jordans.
crazy. Oh, yeah, it's it's really surprising that that's true. These are ridiculous numbers and ridiculous facts, and it's like, yeah, no, this is just real. It's mental.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah. Well,
so
that's the thing.
good.
It's just like, well, at the end of the day, their entire basketball division was going to be put under. Like it was going to be gone soon enough
Mm.
because they were running out of money. It was just getting so bad and everything like that. That if they didn't get this deal whatsoever, like that would have been it. Like this whole division of the basketball, which we also have Jason Bateman's character, who plays as
Oh,
Rob
yep.
Strasser, who was like
Mm.
Matt Damon's other boss.
Yep, yep. No, he was
Um,
good in this movie
in
too.
it,
I like
yeah, he
him.
was very good. Like he does make a point because he obviously has a daughter and everything like that. He's like, if this deal
Mm.
doesn't happen, we're losing our jobs. Like that's
Wow.
it. And then he's gonna
Yeah.
have to still find an income source and everything like that to support his daughter. And he would still, well, the whole thing about buying Nike shoes to give to his daughter,
Yeah, I know.
which was very
Crazy.
nice. Like at that point, it got very real. Like even though this big, very deal was all going down and everything, and then just in the center, just before it actually they go into the final talks for the deal and everything like that. Like, yeah, you have this moment between Matt Damon and Jason Bateman, and it got very serious. And it was just like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, if this doesn't go through, like that entire division's just gone.
I know.
Like
It was
that's it.
crazy. It's like all of these people
Yeah.
relied on this deal to go through. They put everything on the one thing. And that
Especially
segment
when
in the
Michael
middle,
Jordan didn't even want to be anything
yeah,
involved with Nike. Like he hated
it's
Nike.
crazy. It's like you couldn't think of that now without knowing that,
Oh
of
no.
course. You'd be like, Nike? What do you mean? He's always, Nike's his thing. You always associate one with the other. And that the segment right in the middle where they're staying overnight at the place building the actual shoe, that was probably my
Yep,
favorite
yep.
part of the movie. It was so good. And
Oh
have
yeah.
the whole
Whole
montage as they go
sequence.
through and make it. It was I say every part of this movie was enjoyable. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. And it
No.
stands at 112 minutes. So that's a decent length. It fit that
That is a
length. It
decent
killed
length.
it.
I
It
think
was
it's actually
good.
like one of Ben Affleck's shortest films that he's done. I think every one of them has been like
Yeah.
a lot longer than that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I
So,
mean, stuff
and he
like Good
managed
Will
to like
Hunting was long as.
cram a lot into this. So
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of montage and a lot of songs. The soundtrack for this movie was
the
fire.
soundtrack, yes,
Oh, let's talk
from the
about the
beginning,
soundtrack.
man, is basically this like
Ooh.
it is like 80s nostalgia. This film. If you
Oh,
want to
literally.
just like watch a good 80s film, just go and watch this. I bet you like Ben Affleck
Yeah.
and Matt Damon had the time of their life making this film. So it is like I remember this as a kid.
Oh, it's so good. Well, it starts with Money for Nothing. That whole thing
Yes.
there. It was as soon as that played, I'm like, this is gonna be a good movie. It just
Yeah.
kicked off the intro so well. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Anytime like you have
so
like
good.
a good soundtrack for your movie, and especially with like starting with like Money for Nothing and everything like that. Like it's just that's what you
Oh,
need.
hell
That's
yeah.
what gets you hooked.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, songs make a movie, honestly. Stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a reason that's my favorite Marvel film. The soundtrack sure helps. It's like
Oh yes.
crazy. Ah, no, but I'm looking at the numbers for this movie right now. It's only just broke even. The budget was around 70 to 90 mil, and it's made 70 mil box office. So it's only
Yeah.
only
So
just
we'll
made it
see
back.
how we go. Like I'm still
Hmm.
surprised that they were putting it in cinemas still when we've gone to watch because when did it come out?
Uh, March
April
18th.
5th.
Yeah, April 5th.
That was at
Sorry.
South
Yep.
by Southwest. So that
Yeah,
was the
classic.
first screening, and then
Pre-release,
April 5th
April 5th.
was actually in the cinemas. So it's
Yeah.
been a month basically,
Been out for a
and they're
month.
still playing it quite regularly at the cinemas.
Yeah, I mean, there were
Which I was
more
very
people.
surprised.
Yeah, there were more people at our screening of Air than there were at Creed when we went and saw that.
That's for
And
sure.
we saw that
Yeah.
when that came out, not a month after. And maybe that was
No,
just
yeah, we saw that
the
straight away.
cinema and timing, but it's still kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. But I do get it because this movie was great. It's like,
Oh yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the thing. We should
man.
just Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, just get them two to make more films.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
I want more stuff like this. I want more, little single stories about some cool events we can throw into a movie because I want more like this. More
Yeah.
good little stories.
More good little stories. And that's the thing, because at the moment on Rotten Tomatoes, it is sitting at a 92% from certified reviewers, which is certified fresh, and audience score is currently at 98%.
Hell yeah.
So it is a very good film to be
Very
getting
well
that high
known.
on both the critics and audience.
Very rarely does that happen. I'm honestly surprised that it's rated that high. I didn't think this might be a film for everyone, but it seems like it seems like
I think
everyone's
the people
enjoying it.
that are going to see it, they are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people was the same type of mindset we had going to the film. But it's like, what could they do possibly about a shoe? Like, is this a movie about a shoe? And then it was like, oh no, this is a lot more than just about a shoe.
Yeah. No, I guess you're right. I guess, the people that haven't gone to see it have been like, no, it's just a movie about a shoe. How good can it be? And we probably wouldn't have seen it if it wasn't for Affleck and Damon. Like, if they weren't in it,
Yeah.
or even if they were just like a side part of it, we probably wouldn't have seen it. It would have been, it's definitely a deciding factor in our movie-going experience.
That's the thing, yeah. As soon as I heard about the film, I was like, I really want to go and see this, because even when it did come out to cinemas, I was like, oh, we should go and see we should go and see because Ben Affleck, for me, his directing and all his films that he starred in is so influential for me, especially his The Town film.
Oh yeah,
is probably one of my most, or if not the most influential movie of all time for me. And it's kind of the reason why we're doing this course now, where we're learning how to make films and doing all this stuff now, was predominantly, I would happily say, because of Ben Affleck. And mainly because his name is Ben as well, which also kind of helped for me. So I was just like, his name's also Ben. I will be like him.
True. And
That's
my name's not Matt Damon, but I'll go with it.
Yeah, you'll go with it. We'll change it. We'll change Matt Damon's
name. I'll change his name, yeah. I'll ask him nicely. Maybe he'll do it.
Yeah, we'll ask him nicely.
Oh, well, was there anything else you wanted to talk about this movie?
No. I feel like we kind of gathered everything for it.
It's an enjoyable experience.
People need to go and see it. Just go and see it, please.
Yeah.
Just one listener or whoever we get, go and see it. If one of our listeners goes to see this podcast and leaves a little note somewhere on one of our many places that we have our podcast now, saying that you did go and see Air. What were your thoughts on it? I really want to know. And just, tell someone else to go and watch it.
Yeah, I'll leave it as a Spotify question. So if you guys are listening to it on Spotify, you should be able to see a little quiz thing down the bottom and tell us your thoughts. And go see this movie because it was really good. It was really enjoyable. It was a fun, just under 2-hour experience that I can't really find any faults with. It's almost a perfect movie. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, so should we jump to some final thoughts and ratings?
Final thoughts? Yeah, we should go to final thoughts. The one thing I do want to say, though, it was a little bit strange that we don't see Michael Jordan's face when he was a kid whatsoever.
Yeah.
I did find that a bit they could have just gotten someone.
I'm sure
just a young guy.
The dad looked like him, I will say. The dad picked him well. Whoever the actor was, that you could see a bit of Michael Jordan in him, enough for it to be convincing.
Okay.
But
was it actual Michael Jordan's dad?
I don't think so. Michael Jordan's dad was shot. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that.
It's I can't remember his name. He's not in it that much, but it was I don't know what. I guess I don't mind that they didn't show his face. It worked.
His name was Julius Tenon.
Yeah.
Playing as James Jordan.
Yeah. No, that's all right. I'm fine with it.
Yep, yep,
I was happy
yep.
either way. It's not a film about
Okay.
Michael Jordan. It's a film about the shoe. So
No, it's a film about Nike and the shoe. So that's
yeah,
the whole reason why it's called Air,
not
not
Air
Air
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah,
It's just called
exactly.
Air.
True. Oh, so give us your final thoughts and a rating, Mr. Barry. Why don't you kick it off?
Ooh, all right. So we have seen another good sports film this year. So it is like kind of like compare, even though Creed 3 was very much centered around a sport and very much centered around boxing type thing, where this was like, yeah, it was kind of like more or less about the shoe, about the people behind the shoe and the marketing and everything like that. Well, really about Nike. It was a big thing for Nike
Yeah.
as well. And I'm surprised that it was a Amazon Prime studio film. I was just like when
Yeah.
that popped up, I was like, Amazon did this?
I didn't know
Yeah.
Amazon Prime had like a proper movie studios. I thought they just did stuff for like their shows and things, but no. No, this
No,
is good.
yeah, they had a proper logo and
Yeah.
everything.
No,
No, I
because
think it's the
I
first time I've
saw
ever seen it.
it was going to be released as a Prime thing, but then they
Yep,
pushed it
yep.
to cinemas, so maybe that was the case, and maybe Amazon are gonna get into proper big
Uh,
movies now. But
yeah,
yeah,
well,
it was because
you
it
would
was so
think so
good,
because
they
they're
pushed it
spending
on there.
so much on like everything else.
I'm sure they'll try, and I'm sure they're gonna keep doing movies like this, especially because this was so well received. It's just I hope it makes some more money because it deserves it.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah. So final thoughts and ratings. Yeah, I thought it was overall good film. Definitely one of the best films I've seen this entire year.
Yep.
I'm really on par. I'm thinking that it could be better than Creed, if not. Well,
Oh,
at the moment for me, it's on par with Creed because I
okay.
watched Creed 3 again because I was just like thinking once we watched the film, I'm just like, that this was a very good film. It was Ben Affleck. Um, so my final rating for this film is going to be a 9
Oh, a
because I know
9.
that's what I gave Creed 3.
Whoa,
So
you
at
don't
the
give out
moment
many
they're
9s.
on, yeah. So they're on par at the moment. You know, I might have to go and rewatch this again because I absolutely loved it. I want to support them as much as I can. So please, anyone, just if you like going and watch a good Sunday film, like that's the thing. Like it is enjoyable, just
Mm.
overall. Like
Mhm.
it's just like you were saying earlier. It's just a good fun film to watch. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's just yeah, so great, so great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is probably the only film this year that I'd buy the DVD of. Really. I
Oh
mean,
yes,
I
yep,
I want this film. This is one of those films
yep,
that if you see it come on a TV, you'll sit down and watch it and go, "Oh, this is really good. Let's watch this." It it felt like I don't know. It just felt like it was in another league to Creed in terms of type of movie and just in terms of how much I enjoyed it. Creed was a hell of an experience, I will say, but this was a nicer experience, if I will say. So I'm gonna give it a 9.5. I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Whoa!
I
Damn,
gave
I think that's the highest rating we've got.
I think so.
That's
That's
it.
on par because I think James gave The Last of Us a 9.5, and I think that was the highest
Yep.
rating that we'd ever had.
Yep.
And the highest I'd given was a 9, and I think that was from Mando episode. But
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
but
as
for
of
movie
movies,
wise, oh,
yeah. Well, I gave Creed
damn.
an 8, and
Yeah.
I did have some problems with Creed, but this one I don't have any problems with. But it's just like it pleasantly surprised, and maybe that's due to the fact of how low our expectations were when we went into this. But
Yep. Yep.
even so, it's just a really well done movie that was enjoyable start to finish. So yeah, 9.5 from me.
Nice. 9.5 from Clayton. Damn. I
9.5.
was not expecting that.
I wasn't expecting you to
That
give it
took
a
me by
9.
surprise.
I thought you'd be like a 7 or an 8, honestly, because you're just
No.
harsh with your ratings.
No, no. Well, that's the thing, because I was just like trying somewhat to compare it to Creed, which the highest rated film I've given on this podcast so far. And I
Yep.
still love Creed 3.
Oh yeah, it's a
I'm
good
even
movie.
starting, after watching it a second time now, I'm starting to think Creed 3 might be better than the first Creed. Oh no, I already said that, didn't I? When we
Yeah,
did our
no,
rankings.
no, yeah, we both said that.
Yeah. Yeah, we both said that. Sorry. So yes, Creed 3 is the best of the Creed trilogy. It still doesn't beat Rocky. This movie still doesn't beat Rocky. I still love Rocky. But yeah, Creed 3 still high up there. And so is this
Oh,
film.
I
They're on
love
par with one another at the moment. I love both these films. Go and watch both of these film audiences. Go and watch
Very
both of
good.
them, especially Air. Go and watch Air.
We're in a good year for movies.
I know. This is like
couldn't
the
have picked
best
it.
year of film so far.
Start of the year, I was thinking, what's coming out this year? Not much. And it's like, we've had nothing but bangers. Nothing we've reviewed on the podcast movie-wise has been bad. I mean, we
Not
had
yet.
John Wick 4, Creed, we had Cocaine Bear. That was fun. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was great. And this is another topper. And we'll have even more fun movies next week and the week after that. We got lots planned.
Yeah, we have a lots
really
planned
great.
over the next few podcast episodes.
Too much
and
planned.
Too much planned, but they're going to be some very big podcasts, that's for sure. I've already been pre-preparing for the next week's podcast.
Really?
What we're going to be doing on that. Yeah.
I can't wait. We might go see the movie for next week's podcast tomorrow if you're still down.
We'll see. We'll talk after the podcast. We'll see what happens. We talk film.
We talk film.
So I suppose
outside the podcast too.
We talk film outside the podcast too, and we also learn how to make film outside the podcast too. That's basically what you and I do. Whoa, getting meta, getting involved. So I suppose we can go on to our next segment of today's podcast, which I'm very confused about how we're going to do this.
That's okay.
Next segment. So do you want to discuss it with us, Clayton?
Let me kick off the next segment of the podcast. We are doing... Oh, it played it twice there. We're doing the We Talk Film movie draft. And I may have stolen this idea from other movie podcasts, but it's okay because every movie podcast does this, okay? Basically, me and Barry are going to go head to head to come up with a list of 10 sport films. And we're going to see who has the best list. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to kind of basically flip a coin to see who goes first. And then we're going to go back and forth, picking movies, stealing movies off each other till we can see who gets the best list. And we'll leave it up to the viewers to decide who wins. Oh.
All right. So it sounds good. Sounds interesting.
Like a competition. Well, I've got my random flipper up.
Competition.
Yeah.
Should I your random flipper up?
A random flipper. Pick a number between 1 or 2, Barry.
I shall pick 2.
Oh. Oh. It played it more than once. That was supposed to be my drum roll.
Played it more than once.
2? Okay. Barry, you're going first. Ooh.
So what? Do I start with number 10 or do I start with my number 1?
You start with... Okay, so basically, you get to decide which one you pick. The list itself is a culminative thing. So it's like you could take your favorite first, but there's a risk that I will take it next go. So it's like if you really want something, you got to try and grab it before I'll grab it. Or something obscure that I won't grab. You want to save those for later. It's like, whoa.
I know. I'm starting to think.
Go. So there's a lot of, skill and strategy now.
I will kick it off. I will start it off with number 1 because this film is very near and dear to my heart. I do love it a lot and is definitely one of my favorite sports-related films of all time. It is Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, good choice. Good choice. That was a very fun movie. I will say I enjoyed that. I saw it not in cinemas. I saw it on DVD, but yeah, no, that's a good start. So now that Barry's picked his film, he's got Ford v Ferrari locked in. I'm keeping track of the list, so we'll read them out at the end.
Yep.
So you've got Ford v Ferrari locked in. I can't pick that one. I can pick any other sport-related film, and we're including things like motorsport, of course.
Yep.
I suppose we can include stuff like Air, maybe.
Yep. Let's include Air. We just watched it. Let's put it in there. I've got it in my list, so
it's also on my list. But who's gonna get it first? No, I'm gonna start mine by grabbing a little film that I like to call The Karate Kid.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that was on my list.
That's mine. Ford v Ferrari going up against The Karate Kid. Ooh, might have you currently. Now you get to come back with something. It's like, whoa.
Okay. Well, let's bring it back into the ring a bit more. I am going for my next pick. And I think you might be surprised upon what you think it is. And it does bring out the old man in me a bit. Raging Bull. Such a classic Scorsese film.
Good choice. Now this is getting heated because that's a good pick. That's very much in a lot of top 10 sport films.
Oh yes.
What am I gonna do now?
Oh, what are you gonna pick, boy? What are you gonna pick? Show me the money.
I'm gonna grab Air. I'm taking Air.
Oh, you're taking Air? Okay.
I'm taking Air. Air's on my list. That's my number 2. I could have it. It's so good.
Nice.
Back to you.
Back to me. Oh, so you picked Air.
Yep.
Oh.
2 down, 8 to go.
And 8 to go.
It's going to get harder as we go along too.
One of the films over the past 3 days that I did watch out of the thing, it's close to 10. Like I watched a lot of sports films over the past few days. One that I never heard of before until yesterday when I actually watched it is called Draft Day.
Okay. I've never heard of it either. What's it about?
It's got Kevin Costner in it, and it literally is about the NFL draft.
Oh, okay.
Like what we're kind of doing now, except this works very differently.
Yeah.
And it's a whole bunch of rounds, and it goes through the entire day of drafting about the Browns NFL football team, because like he's plays as their guy who selects the team and stuff like that, and making deals with other teams. And it was just like, it was very surprising on how well it was done, especially when I knew nothing about it.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. But you could have saved that one till the end, because I would never have picked Draft Day.
True.
Never seen it. So, see, I've got Barry. I've got the strategy.
I've got a few.
I can tell. We all have a few. I don't know. There's probably not going to be that much taking of each other's, but we might do this again next week. Whoa, with something a little different. But that's just a little keep in mind. The next film that I'm going to take is probably my favorite of the ones that I've got on the list. I'm going to take a little film called Nacho Libre.
I didn't have that on my list because I forgot about it.
No,
Jack Black.
It's such a good wrestling movie. I think it's the best wrestling movie. Oh, I love it.
It's the best wrestling film.
Oh, we've got 3 each. Back to you.
That film, and done by actually Nickelodeon as well. That film,
really? It feels very
it was a Nickelodeon film.
Nickelodeon one.
I know. Like I was like, oh,
I love that movie.
Okay. Well, since you're going for the bit comedic type one,
true,
I am going for Happy Gilmore, my good sir.
That was on my list. Bro stole Happy Gilmore from me.
Yeah.
That's the best golf movie ever. Oh,
it is. The whole reason why I actually enjoy golf is because of that film. That's the only film I watch about golf.
Nice. All right. Well, since you stole Happy Gilmore, I'm gonna have to throw this back at you and take Rocky.
Ah, you bastard!
I'm surprised it wasn't taken earlier. No.
Yeah, true.
Rocky's mine.
All right. Well, since you're taking Rocky, I'm taking Creed 3.
Oh. All right.
We're even.
That's okay. I got the better one of the two. Next up, I'm going to take another comedy. I'm going to take Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Okay.
The greatest NASCAR movie ever made. And also probably one of my favorite Will Ferrell movies. It's so well done.
I honestly cannot remember it. I think I only seen it once.
You have to rewatch it. It's so funny.
Yeah. I just remember the part where he has the accident and then he just like strips naked and he's like, "Help me, Mama! Help me, Oprah! Help me, Tom Cruise!"
I'll pray to baby Jesus.
Yeah. The baby Jesus.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, so Talladega Nights. What are you going to follow that up with?
Talladega. Oh, I am going to. How many more have we got?
We've taken 5. We're halfway through. Halfway through.
Okay. Well, I'm going to save my last one to something special, which is just so out there. unless you say it.
We'll see.
So my next one is going to be Moneyball, starring Brad Pitt.
Moneyball. True.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And also has Chris Pratt and someone else. I forget. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Nice. That's cool.
Chris Pratt plays as like a baseball player in it. So
I didn't know that those two had collaborated on something. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was good. Kind of cool.
Well, I'm going to follow up Moneyball with another one of this one's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's Point Break.
Yes,
Pulling up some
that is
extreme
an
sports. The
amazing film.
original, not the remake.
The original, not the remake. No, we don't count the remake.
Ooh, that was awful.
I,
But
I will
yeah.
admit though, the remake did have some amazing like cinematography shots. I will
It had
admit,
some
because I'm
really
pretty sure
cool
they got
stuff.
like the Red Bull sports team for like a lot of those scenes.
Yeah, but everything apart from that was awful, and the original's just so much better.
Oh yeah,
Such a good
originals is
movie.
great.
All right,
Such a good film.
four left. Barry, what are you gonna do?
4 left. Ooh. Okay. I'm bringing another Ben Affleck sports film in here.
Uh oh.
I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this, but it is. He didn't direct it, but he starred in it, and it was quite a recent film he did as well. It's called The Way Back. He plays as a basketball coach.
Yeah.
Yes,
Heard of it? I
it
haven't
is
seen it.
such like a good point of view, like acting on like Ben Affleck's part. Like it's so sad, but also great seeing Ben Affleck in that performance. Like it was just like that's almost like Oscar level performance. I've seen him in that.
Wow. No, I'll
Like
have to check
overall,
it
it's kind of
out.
like just an average film and everything, but his performance in it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
like this is really depressing. And especially it was around the same time where he was going through his like alcohol addiction and stuff like that, and then he also did this film. I was like, oh, this is even more like close to home. So yeah, I'm putting that on my list.
Ben Affleck, he's such a good actor in almost everything he
He's
does.
such a good actor.
I don't think I've seen him in a bad role. I mean, unless you
Daredevil?
count like no, I liked Daredevil. I will stand for
High five.
Daredevil.
We're doing it
high
over the
five.
camera. High five.
Yeah. No, I
I
liked
didn't mind him
Daredevil.
as Daredevil. It was just everything else around it was just horrible.
No, I love that movie. I have that movie on DVD. Oh, it's such a good movie. It's not, but it's such a good movie. Oh, no. Oh, man. All right. All right. My number 4. This is where things get tough because it's like, do I want to take something that you're missing or do I want to take something that I want? Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. I'm going to take another comedy, I think.
Ooh.
I don't know if you're going to take this one. I don't know if you've seen this one, but it's a little film called Basketball by Trey
I've never
Parker
heard
and
of it.
Matt Stone. You know the South Park guys?
Yes, I know
It's
who they
yeah,
are, but I've
it's
never heard of
it's
it.
it's so funny. It's more of that kind of humor, but a little bit toned down and a little bit more witty. They basically
Okay.
invent a new sport that combines basketball and baseball in order to impress these girls, and it becomes the nationwide like biggest sport ever. And one scene,
Such a them film to make. Such a them
one
film.
scene that cracks me up right at the end is when they're in the very like tense "we're gonna lose" moment. They just start making out for no reason. Just Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the two of them, and it comes
Oh
out of
my
nowhere,
gosh.
and it goes on for so long. It's such a good movie. It's really funny. You should check it out. But that's
Nice.
my number 4. Throwing it back to you now.
Ooh. I might go back to one that I have also watched over the past couple of days. It was on Disney Plus, starring Mark Wahlberg. It is Invincible. It is about him. Well, it's basically back in the 70s, I think it was.
Something like
think Philadelphia
Yeah.
Eagles were having a real bad time, so they was like, "Hey, we're gonna have public people come and join our team." And I just thought it was kind of like, like gotta be one of those types of films. But then, like actually watching it and stuff like that, I was like, "Oh, this was actually quite well done." And it's like this is actually did happen in like real events and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I
And I was
have
like, "Yeah, it was an all right, it was an all right Mark Wahlberg film. I will give him that. Like he was performed very well in it." There's also the guy that plays the coach in it that I forget his name, but he's been in like quite reputable films
Yeah.
as well. And it was just seeing this guy who was in his 30s and was just kind of good at football. Like he didn't play it at school or college or anything like that. He was just like, I'm just like everyone around him said, yeah, you should just sign up. And then he
right.
played for the Philadelphia Eagles for I think 3 seasons.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this movie, but I own the soundtrack to it. I have a CD of the
Yeah.
soundtrack to
Soundtrack's good.
Invincible.
Soundtrack's good. Soundtrack's very
And
good.
I will say, I kind of want to watch the movie now. I haven't seen it, kind of want to watch it, especially after watching Air. It's like I kind of want to watch some sport movies, and I wasn't like you.
Yeah.
I didn't go watch 20 sport movies over the last 2 days. I was a bit more refraining than that. But no, that's a good choice. That's pretty good. You've picked quite a few American football movies.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's in real life, the only sports I will watch is American football.
Really?
Like, I will watch the Super Bowl like every year if I can, especially when like the Philadelphia Eagles are playing. And that's probably another thing as well why I liked Invincible so much more, because I'm like a Philadelphia Eagles fanboy. So,
I've
you know,
never seen
maybe
a game of American football. I've never
it's
watched it
great.
apart from movies.
It's insane and amazing.
No, that's fair. All right. My number 3. 3 left. Ooh. You might remember this film. This is probably one of the greatest comedies ever made, starring everyone's favorite John Candy, as well as a host of some very funny Jamaicans. It's Cool Runnings.
Yes. Cool Runnings. Hey! I'm surprised you didn't say that earlier. I was kind of leaving that for you because I know you love that film so much.
Oh, thank you.
So, like, I had it on my list. I was like, nah, I'm not going to say it because I know he will at some point. So I'll leave it for him. I know he wants the film.
I was good to save it then.
Yeah.
Sweet.
No, but that is such a great film. I remember watching it as a kid and being like amazed, and then watching it, I think, recently as well. I think I watched it at the beginning of the year. So yeah, it's like still holds up. Still holds up.
It holds up really well. The best sports movies are the ones that hold up, that transcend time, and it's still so funny. Man, I can't watch it without cracking up at the same jokes over and over. It's such a well done movie. Great. All right, throwing it back to you for 2. 2 left.
You're gonna pull out the heavy 2 hitters. Left. So I have written a list for this thing that we're doing today. I have 33 films on this list.
Jesus.
Obviously, I have already selected 8 of them. You have selected some of them, but there still is a lot more on this list. And now that I'm looking at it and this being like, I'm down to my final 2. There is one that I want to keep that is so out there and so like outdoors. I think you might say it, but I'm not sure either. And there's still like so many good sports films that I have watched recently and have watched over a lifetime of watching movies and stuff like that. So I am going to give my second pick to a Will Smith sports film. Because he's done quite a few of them, it turns out.
Yeah,
and it's going to be Ali, about Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
That is such a great film, starring Jamie Foxx also. And I hope Jamie Foxx is doing okay and recovering at the moment, because apparently he had a stroke or something the other day.
Oh, wait, really?
So, yeah, it was like on the news and everything. I was like, whoa, my God.
Oh, shit, okay.
So yeah, hope he's doing well. But yes, Will Smith in this film, and I watched it last year again. And it's still like so well acting, and because this was like 20 years ago, over 20 years ago now. This film came out, and it was kind of like very similar to like Raging Bull almost. And that's kind of the reason why I love it so much. So yes, Ali is going to be my number 2 pick.
That's fair. I haven't seen it. I will say I have not seen Ali. It's on the list. I will probably check it out at some point. But yeah, now that brings me to my number 2. And this is great. My list was nowhere near as long as yours. But, all right. Ooh, I'm going to save...
It always gets hard when it's the last 2. Always hard.
All right. There's one that I want to say. I'm going to save that for the next one. I'm going to throw out... Oh, no, but I want that other one as well.
Oh, no.
Oh. All right. No, I'm going to
listen 20.
Oh, Jesus. No one would be able to compare them then.
No. Come on. What's it going to be?
My American football movie. The only one that I'm going to pick that's American football that I really enjoy.
I think I do. I know what it is.
I think you know what it is. It's The Waterboy, starring Adam Sandler.
Some high quality H2O. Give some high quality H2O. Mama always says, "Lumgada." Mama has always said, "Happiness at the end of the rainbow."
I love that movie. It's second
It is a
only,
great film.
Second only to Happy Gilmore in terms of my probably my Adam Sandler rankings.
I actually have it higher than Happy Gilmore.
Really? I think Happy Gilmore.
And I stole Happy Gilmore from you.
You did.
Because I wanted
to. Yeah, I should have. Next time, I'll take Raging Bull first, just to piss you off.
All right, yeah. Just like any old film, like normally would like piss me off. I'm just like, yeah, because I remember seeing that as a kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Number 1.
Okay.
Whoa.
So number 1 for me. I'm gonna say I don't like this film. It's actually a very bad film, but I'm gonna put it up there anyway. Goddamn Speed Racer.
What? No. You're joking.
Like it is.
I was gonna grab that. I saved that one for last. You bastard! You took Speed Racer.
I told you I'd get you.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how the draft works, man. Oh yeah.
I mean, this movie.
I hinted at it so much of this entire list.
What?
But yes, I am taking Speed Racer because I still watch it every now and again just to have a laugh.
It's a great movie. I love it.
It's a great bad film.
I don't even think it's a bad film. I think it's a great film. I stand firmly by that. It's a great movie. I love it. I love Speed Racer. Unironically.
Well, I've taken it. There is so many other films I could have picked that I absolutely love and adore. Like there was films like Jerry Maguire, Seabiscuit, Invictus, Remember the Titans, Coach Carter, Warrior.
Yeah.
But no, I was just like, yep, I am picking Speed Racer because I knew it would be in your top 10 list. You didn't say it.
It's honorable mentions. Oh man, that's crazy. Now it's like, okay, I have 2 others on my list that I kind of want to get. But I think I'm going to have to give it to a golf movie. And you're like,
another golf film.
What golf movie? It's not Happy Gilmore. There's other golf movies? What?
There's other golf films?
This is a recent one. This one came out last year, I think. It's called The Phantom of the Open.
Yes, you told me about that.
I told you about it.
We going to see Air the other night. Yeah.
You haven't seen it, have you?
I haven't seen it, no.
It's a really good, quirky little British movie. It's great.
Okay. It's on my list to watch, so go ahead.
It's a true story about the worst golf player in history and how he keeps coming back, and they ban him for tournaments, and he comes back with a disguise and a French name, and he comes back. He just keeps coming back, and he gets on the news.
Is it actually based on true event or
It's a true story. Everything in it is true.
It's a true story? What?
It is a true story.
Okay, I have to see it now.
And it's got that old British actor in it. I can't remember his name.
The old British actor.
Yeah, no, he's really good in it. Hang on, let me just look it up because he's great. What's his name? It is that guy. What's his name? Oh, Mike Rylance. Mike Rylance.
Ah, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the main guy in it, and he's been in heaps of things. But it's a really good golf movie, and it's a really fun, quirky comedy. And so that's my finale. Did you have any honorable mentions you wanted to throw out before we reread our lists?
Yeah, there was one that now I'm looking back on my list I should have put into my top 10 draft, which is called $1 Million Arm, starring the great John Hamm. Probably like my favorite actor, at least top 5 actors of all time because of Mad Men. That is such a great film. I starting to like regret now. I just like missed it in my list because there's like so much on my list. I was like, I should have put that on my list, but that's right. Next draft. He would have been my number 11 pick. Okay.
Okay. That's fair. My number 11 pick would have been Cars. I would have thrown an animated movie into there.
Why not?
It's a
Cars is great.
It's such a great movie. It's probably my favorite Pixar film. That's for sure. I love it. Yeah, I know that's
Pixar have a lot of good films.
Big woo. Yeah,
that's a big woo.
It's
you have to start listing all our favorite Pixar films one day.
Oh, we'll get there. Next time they put one out, we'll do a list. It'll be Cars, and then it'll be like Nemo and maybe Wall-E or something after that.
Yeah. I think Wall-E's still high up there for me.
They're all very good. Anyway, back to sport films.
It's Pixar, man.
The only other one that I had on my list was Coach Carter. With, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And I know that was also on my list. Well.
Yeah,
it's a great movie. I will say. I think we come up with some good lists. Shall I read them
Yeah.
back so the audience
Let's
can
read
decide
them
who
back,
won?
Clayton. Let the audience
Okay.
decide on who won.
So Benjamin Berry, his list on his top 10 sport films that he got for his draft, and remember these folks because you're going to be voting on who won. He had Ford versus Ferrari. Then he had
Great film. Great
Raging
film.
Bull. Then he
Another
had
great film.
Draft Day. And then he
Great film.
stole Happy Gilmore from me.
Because I wanted to.
And then he had Creed 3. Then he got Moneyball, The Way Back, Invincible, Ali, and then with the doggest move in Draft Day history, he stole Speed Racer from me.
Oh, yes. Yes, that is a
Ah.
great list. I love it. I love that list.
That is a pretty good list. And most of your, probably half of your list I haven't seen. You've given me a list.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say.
Yeah.
You had some pretty safe bets with what you picked.
Yep.
My list, though, on the other hand, what I think is obviously the more superior list, kicks off with The Karate Kid.
Always.
Then I get
Great classic
Air.
film.
Oh, so good.
Yep. So good.
Nacho Libre.
Amazing. I want to watch it right now.
So good. Rocky. Equally good.
Yep.
So good. Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
I have to watch it again.
Such a good movie. You have to. It's so good. Point Break. My favorite Keanu Reeves. I will say. Yeah. Point Break. Basketball from the South Park guys. Oh, it's so good. Cool Runnings. The best bobsled movie. Yeah. Yep. Then The Waterboy. Another good movie. Yeah. And then I capped it off, with Phantom of the Open, the more recent one that Barry
which I definitely have to go and watch now because it sounds absolutely very interesting.
Yeah,
I know it's on Stan or something at the moment, so
something like that. Yeah, two of the things on my list you haven't seen, which is good because you've seen everything, you old bastard.
No, I've watched way too many films. Like starting to remember which ones.
Oh, you watch more sport films this week than I have in my whole life. So, yeah, the unfair advantage.
Yep.
Oh, anyway, I think that's it. Let us know whose list was superior, and let us know what you thought about Air if you went to go see that. Was there anything else that you wanted to say, Barry, before we cap off the episode?
Well, I feel like that was it for today. But yeah, like Clayton was saying, definitely go and watch Air. I feel like it definitely needs the support at the moment. It needs more people going to see it because it is a phenomenal film, and I would like to see it get a bit more money before it does go out of cinemas. And obviously, what are your favorite sports films as well? If you have any suggestions upon what we didn't say today at all, because we talked a whole bunch about sports. I won't ever watch sports unless it's the NFL. But if you got a good sports film and we didn't say anything about it, leave that also. And I suppose that's where we will leave it.
Yeah, let us know.
Next week's episode is going to get a bit spooky.
Ooh. Yeah, that's it from us. Follow us on Instagram. Listen to the podcast wherever you find podcasts. We're on pretty much everything. You can't avoid us. We're on everything.
We're everywhere now.
We're everywhere.
We're even on the moon. We're hanging out with David Bowie.
Leave us a 5-star review on everything. Download the podcast. Do all this other stuff. Leave us comments on our Instagram and all this other jazz. I'm running out of things to say. So I think that's it from us. I'll see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Goddamn sports films, man.